Hello and welcome back to my LASO guide. Sorry I haven't uploaded in about 2 weeks, but I was out of town for the holidays with family, so I hope you understand. However, I'm back and hope to upload as much as possible, so without further ado, here is the updated guide for the third mission of Halo 1 on LASO. To start off, we will hop out of the Pelican and run to this rock where there is a gap that we can take out a few enemies and then duck behind for cover. Make sure to shoot the grunts first because they may blow up some enemies around them, thus leaving you with more bullets to use later. After you've cleared out all the enemies in your line of sight from that rock, you'll need to move up to this tree so you can spot the rest of them in the area. Stand here and watch their movement patterns for a bit so you can line up an easy headshot so as to not waste any ammo. Once you take one shot at an enemy, you'll need to duck down quickly or else they will spot you. First, make sure to take out all the smaller enemies before killing the elites. That way you can take 2 shots at the head without getting spotted by anyone. A little ways around the corner, there should be 2 grunts walking past each other, assuming you haven't been spotted yet. If you time it correctly, you can headshot one grunt and blow up the other next to it while they cross each other. After that, there is 1 grunt left on the turret, and then the Marines will run out and more enemies will flood the area. There are a lot of grunts here, so snipe them first and then use your Marines as a distraction to kill the elite. A few more grunts and a jackal will come after that, and then you can continue on to the next part. Up here, there is a ridge with a few grunts and possibly a jackal. Below them and to the left are more... It sounded like I said below. Excuse me. Underneath them and to the left are more grunts and an elite. Shoot the grunts and blow up as much as you can before taking out the elites. If you run out of ammo like I did, then you can switch to your second controller and move it up. Once you can't see anything else, you want to come up to this tree and slowly look around the corner where there is a grunt and a shade turret. Once you headshot him quickly, run up as there is a red elite that will move around the corner. Since there is nothing else here, you can melee him while your Marines shoot him. A quick tip I want to give for headshotting grunts and turrets is that for some reason it doesn't hit them when the reticle is red. If you can see that you're aiming at the top but it's not red, then you will kill them. Not sure why that is, but keep that in mind. Once you pop around this corner, there is a blue elite here that you can one-shot if you line it up right. Once you kill him, the jimmies have officially been rustled and 3 grunts will advance from the ridge across from you. If you don't take them out with one explosion, keep in mind that one may try to get in the turret from earlier. Like this little bastard right here. Once you kill them, head up the ridge you saw them enter from. Keep going straight until you see these 2 jackals in front of you. You can wait for them to turn around if you'd like so as to not risk losing shields and taking health damage, because for some reason plasma pistols are like automatics on LASO. As you saw, there is a grunt to the left side, so take him out before he sees you or else you will jump in a shade turret that's hiding behind that rock. There will be either a blue or red elite near the trees ahead, pray for a blue one of course, so snipe him and then you can work on the elite that is above you and to the right. He's very quick and has a lot of cover to hide behind if he loses his shield, so he can be annoying if you don't kill him fast enough. After taking him out, there are jackals and turrets near the bridge ahead. You can snipe them or get the invisibility near the trees where we killed the first elite in this area. Either way, once you kill them all, you need to be careful where you set your second controller if you switch them off, because once the enemies are dead, a dropship will come in with more. If you set your other controller in the previous area where I said blow and then move up into the crevice with the first one, then you will checkpoint in there and the enemies behind you will just despawn once they run to the ridge. As you saw there, the dropship was coming in and I was freaking out because my second character was in a bad spot, so I had to move him up quickly. I ended up just taking the invisibility here to kill the 1 grunt in the turret, and I still failed to do it, but I suggest you use it earlier and melee some enemies in the back to save some bullets. Once here, there is a grunt up top and a turret on the other side of this crevice. Once you kill him, the other enemies will be aggroed to the other side of this rock. Trust me, you will strike a creed with this rock. There are many like it, but this one is yours. It's your best friend through and you must master it as you must master your life. Keep him close to you. Very close. Reason being is that there are going to be many waves of enemies at this part, so you need to be conservative and patient. Basically, after every wave, a new one will emerge and run to the same spot. Just wait for the grunts to get close enough so you can shoot them, and hopefully blow up most, if not all, of the wave. As you can see, the jackals will occasionally get close to the rock as well. This will help you to get your shields back if you lose some during this tough part of the mission. After killing the first group of enemies you encounter here, you need to run out and snipe the grunts and the turrets. There are a total of 3 in the distance and 1 more very close to you. Remember to shoot when your reticle is not red above their heads. This will guarantee a one-shot kill. Once they are all dead, this will trigger the seemingly countless waves of enemies on their way. There's not much more advice I can give you here other than using that large rock to your advantage. If you run out of ammo, use your second controller. If that runs out as well, then there was some ammo back at the spot where I said blow if you want to run back there and see if any's left. Other than that, use the same strategy I've been telling you. Grunts first, melee jackals if you can for shields, and if there's only one elite left then don't waste ammo and just beat him down. Also make sure to run back after every wave to see if you can get any cheeky checkpoints. I've done it before, but if it's not the same case for you, you will always get one before the 200 spawn as the last wave before entering the ship. So that's literally everything I can tell you about that part. I wrote down like a whole paragraph on it because I know this can be a rough part and I wanted to make sure to cover everything on it. But if you're patient enough, you can get it done on your first try. It will just take a little while. So as you saw there, the 200 spawn at the end and they have no idea where I am, so I snuck around the side here and picked up some sniper ammo, and while they were still facing away from me, I could easily one-shot them in the back. This most likely will not be the case for you, but if you can shoot one in the back, then that's all you need because you can run circles around the other one and melee until it's down. After that, take both your characters to this area with health and ammo and stock up before entering the ship. This next part can also be tough, but there is a great strategy you can use to make it infinitely easier. Now here's the important part, listen carefully. Once you enter the ship, make sure to immediately take your second controller, turn it around, and run to these boxes with the invis next to them. Park it right here aiming at this door and then switch back to your other controller and aim it at that same door. The reason we do this is because we will die a few times here trying to get the right RNG to enter through this doorway, so we want to checkpoint while looking directly at it. This also makes it easy for us to move our second controller forward while simultaneously moving our first controller in through the doorway. Basically what we are looking for here is the invisible elite to spawn in this door so we can two-shot him with the sniper rifle and then move both our controllers into the door quickly. Make sure not to pick up that invis because you can use it later on and it will be a great deal of help. Move both characters all the way into this corner over here where we will wait for a little while. I would say a minute or two, but to be safe I waited for 2 to 3 minutes. What this does is it allows the Marines to die and then the enemies will clump up together in that small room. The grenades you picked up before going into the ship will be handy here as you can kill a good chunk of them by tossing just a few. After you're done waiting, run back to where we entered and toss a grenade. Literally all you need is one because it will kill grunts who blow up and kill more grunts, and it's a chain reaction. Wait it out and then move up a bit. All we need to do here is clear out the enemies that are close to the invis. Once we get the invis, it's a cakewalk as we can just melee the rest of the elites in the back. Make sure to take your time because they run around a lot, and if you miss and don't kill them in one hit, they will turn around and mess you up real quick. And then you have to restart from the door part and wait another 3 minutes so you know. No pressure, man. After killing the elites, there may be a few enemies left. You can toss a grenade or just shoot the grunts to blow them up. Now 2 hunters will come through the large door ahead. My tactic here is to have them both swing at me and then dodge it. If you do, they will be facing away from you so you can line up a shot with your sniper and kill one of them quickly. This way you can save ammo and melee the other one to death. After killing the 2 hunters and getting a checkpoint, you need to immediately pick up the second controller that was in the corner and move it out because 2 grunts will come through the doorway you were sitting next to. After you kill them, the hallway ahead has a few grunts and 2 elites. This part can be a bit tricky because as you pop out into the hallway and shoot a grunt or elite, there will be a possibility of either a jackal or 2 grunts spawning behind you. I would say the best RNG for this scenario would be 1 jackal because you can get shields back, but either way, be aware of something like that. When you reach this door at the end of the hallway, go out and take a right to drop down onto the boxes to avoid fall damage. Then follow along the left side wall to avoid being seen and follow my pathing to pick up some health and ammo on top of the dead marine. Then run into this hallway and use it as covers to snipe a few enemies. Once you've killed enough of them on the first floor, one of the doors on either side will open up and a few more will come out. Use this opportunity to run past them so you can skip this room entirely. The hallway you go through will have a jackal up front and an elite with grunts at the end. It's not a difficult part, so I won't go into detail about it. But after you reach the end, your second controller will spawn here with you, but you can leave him there. When you enter this room, take a right and chuck a grenade through the door that opens. Then turn left and throw another one at the enemies coming from that direction. Hug the right side wall to avoid possible self-inflicted grenade damage, and then use the pillars to maneuver your way to the other side where there is an overshield and ammo. I've seen the triple grenade jump suggested at this part, but it isn't possible for LASO because you need a plasma grenade, which is a delayed explosion, which allows you to throw a regular grenade afterwards in order to jump higher to reach the second floor. No worries though, as this part is very simple if you sit in this corner and snipe anything you see while taking cover. First off, you'll want to snipe the elite that is up top. If you take pot shots at him and then hide, he will go back into walking animation as if he never got hit, which makes it easy to kill him. Then go to the left side where you should be able to pick off a few enemies here and there. Also, you can use the right side as well to get a better viewpoint. Make sure to constantly check up top because there will be some jackals that spawn up there eventually. As long as you stay in this back area, they won't see you and you can find opportunities to melee them from behind and take a few out with your sniper. After killing them all, they will say they are looking for an override code for the door. When this happens, run back to the corner and kill any enemies that come into the room. You'll know when they're all dead because the music will start playing as two hunters enter the room from the door directly opposite of you. However, if you stay in the corner, they won't see you when the door opens, and one may be facing the other way. If this is the case, you can kill one of them and then either melee the other one down or look for an opportunity to shoot him in the back. Then the door will be opened and you can go to this side of the room and pick up any health or ammo if you need it. If you are careful with this room, you can get through it with almost full overshields like I did. The hallways past the door will have a few grunts and some elites. The hallways are very simple because the grunts will most likely kill the elites when in these enclosed spaces like hallways, so I don't go in depth for those parts. However, make sure your second controller is in the hallways because there will be enemies that spawn on the first floor when you get to a higher level. Now, as you saw when you first enter the door for the second floor, chuck a grenade or kill a grunt to cause an explosion and kill all the enemies there. Next, we will run to the center area of this floor so we can spawn the Covenant behind us, jump onto this box to avoid fall damage, and then run back up to the second floor and kill the enemies. The reason we don't cheese it at this part is because those enemies that spawn behind you will chase you for a very long time, and we would also have to deal with the ones in front of us, so overall I'd say it's a bad idea. Now you can make your way to the end and toss a nade through the door and kill the Covenant there, hopefully with a little bit more finesse than myself. Enter the corridors and run to the end where two jackals will pop out. Melee them both and then snipe the elite waiting at the end of the hallway. Then you are clear to make your way to the third floor. On the last floor of this room, you'll want to throw a grenade through the door that opens or snipe one of the grunts in order to blow up the elite in there. Mine didn't die, so I ended up having to beat his ass instead. But that's a long fight, so I won't show you all of that. Then run to the last door on this floor where some enemies will spawn. You can throw a grenade if you have one or use your fists instead. Like a real manly man, of course. Or run away after a little bit of fighting like I did. Like a real manly man, of course. Not really, I'm kind of a bitch. Anyways, your second controller will spawn here with you, and then you'll get a real nice checkpoint before continuing on. Make sure to go left first to get some health and sniper ammo, and then follow my pathing to one of the side doors where we will snipe the sword elite, and we will make sure he dies first. Sorry, it's just I feel like Benedict Cumberbatch, except instead of not being able to say penguins, I can't say where we will without sounding like I'm making dubstep sounds. Fucking Christ. Anyways, here's the sword elite, and just shoot him in the face, not that hard. Make sure to be patient and line it up because he will run at you, but you'll have enough time to reload. To be honest, I feel like a lot of parts in this LASO did get easier if you know what you're doing, just due to the grunts exploding, but maybe that's just me. This room is pretty simple on its own, just shoot the grunts and blow everything up. Once they're all dead, this door on the other side will open up with some more grunts in it. Snipe one of them and let the explosions do the rest. Once you enter through the door, go left and walk through the halls. There are about 3 groups of grunts and jackals, but nothing super difficult, so I skip ahead here. There will be a green lit door to the left. Go in there and activate the panel inside so you can pick up the health and ammo from the den marine inside one of the cells. Then go behind the panel area and there is an invis waiting for you. Pick that up and very quickly follow the path I take and run to the end where you'll find Keys and his marines. Skip the jackals here as you don't want to waste any invis time you have to kill the elites inside this room. Assassinate all of them and then blow up the grunts to activate the cutscene with Keys. When you spawn, both your controllers will be here, so immediately back them both up and have them crouch. Make sure toggle crouch is on in the settings so you don't have to keep holding it down. Elites will flood the room with some jackals and grunts behind them, so toss a nade if you'd like and snipe them out. If you're curious as to why I'm killing marines in between these battles, it's because there's a way to end this mission early by having only Keys left alive and aggroed onto you and then going back to the area with the sword elite. Somehow I managed to fuck this up, but even if you do, there are only 2 fights left that are easy to do, so it's not a big deal if you mess up. All you're doing at the end here is taking Keys through these hallways without him dying. There's no checkpoints until you get to the corridor right before the big room, so make sure to be careful. After blasting through some Covenant, you'll checkpoint right here. Now if you take your other controller you left behind and bring him to where you took Keys, you can safely go into the next room where the 3 invis sword elites are without Keys following you because he will be stuck to your other character. You'll want to do this because Keys will literally just stand still like an idiot and get mauled by the elites every time. So instead, we leave him behind. Yeah, laying down some sick rhymes today. Anyways, ignore my dorky self. Once you've killed those 3 elites, run back a ways and wait for a few grunts to enter the room. And then we're gonna make them go boom. What? Anyways, like I said, there's only a few in here and they will get pretty close to the door, so you can open it up and shoot them with your AR if you'd like, because at this point, you're probably out of sniper ammo or have very little left. If you are low though, make sure to remember the spots where you've picked up ammo previously, because more often than not there will still be some left over, so make sure to pick those up if need be. I swear it's just unintentional now. The last part here will spawn your second controller here along with keys, and there is an elite and a few grunts on the other side of the door. You can pop out and shoot the grunts and hope they blow up the elite, but mine didn't get killed here, so I went full ham and played the most intense ring around the rosy game in history. Of course I came out as the victor and ended the mission with a huge sigh of relief. Now I know this is a tough mission to beat on LASO, but I guarantee you that the next 3 missions are a walk in the park compared to this, so you can relax a little. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and never forget the penguins.